Hi to all of you again. This is Margot, and on this video I will be talking about the low humming tone in my ear. I think this would be part 3. So I've had this experience, just kind of estimating about 3 weeks, when I heard this low tone in my ear. And this happened to me before this past February, March. So, and I also was seeing 1010 as well. A lady, I believe her channel is called Blooming Woman LLC. I really like her explanation on 1010, where it talks about karmic victory or karmic completion. You're coming to a completion. So I think that number was giving me encouragement through this time to go through this experience and understand why I was going through this experience. So and this time I know others or all of you are going through your own spiritual journey, and going through these experiences so that you can share with others, and hopefully this will help them along their path. So but yeah, lately, well, this past few days, I didn't hear the low tone in my ear, so I knew that it had left. And I knew then that it was a familiar spirit. So there's a scripture that talks about that you will suffer, even though you may suffer for a little while. And I take that as you go through these spiritual experiences to grow and to understand the spiritual side of things, and to know how to deal with them. And but this is definitely heightening your spiritual abilities, your spiritual gifts. And I think I've said in one of my previous videos that I know now that I'm definitely an empath. So I'm now, again, I'm learning myself so that I can share my experience with others, and hopefully that will help them. So, but last night, me and my mom, we were, taking a nap. Well, we fell asleep in the living room, actually, in the recliners. And so again, I hadn't heard this low tone in my ear these past couple of days. And last night I heard the owl. This owl was loud. And I've gone through this before with hearing the owl, and then sometimes hearing it in the daytime. And before, what I've done is I will get up. I will go ahead and get up, and I will pray. I will pray that whatever spiritual attacks is coming, that it will be rebuked. Any type of, spells or any type of, things coming my way, you know what I mean? Go ahead and get ahead of it and rebuke it. Pray. And because it says in the Bible, pray without ceasing. And so what I did was I heard the owl, and my silly self, I went back to sleep, which I should have got up. And as soon as I heard the owl, and usually when I hear the owl, it's usually, not all the time, but it's usually in the wee hours of the night, between midnight and, somewhere between midnight and 4. And there's something, there's a significance with waking up between midnight and 4 in the morning. You know, so maybe I'll cover that on a different video. But I didn't get up like I was supposed to and to pray. And what I had was a perverted sexual dream. And so I woke up, and of course I prayed, I rebuked it. That's what, anybody should do. Pray, rebuke it, renounce any type of spiritual contracts that was possibly made in the dream. Rebuke it, renounce it, rebuke that spirit, tell it that it don't have no power over you, tell it to leave. So here's a scripture in Ephesians 6:12 that says, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." And here, there's another event that happened in the scriptures with Yahusha, with the world called Christ. Christ, he finds a man that is possessed, and really that word I think is mistranslated. It actually is harassed. This man was harassed or influenced. I think that word should be influenced instead of possessed, because when people think possessed, all people know is what they see in Hollywood, what they've seen in these movies like The Exorcism and all this stuff there. But no, that's not really the case, because these spirits, they're very subtle. They hide, they don't want you to know, really, they don't want you to know they're real. And people out there think that, oh, that's rubbish, that's ludicrous or whatever. Hey, the spirit, them unclean spirits, those evil spirits, they want you to believe that. They want you to believe they're not real, so that gives them even more of an advantage over you, to influence you to do their bidding. But it says here that the man, Christ, Yahusha, this man was influenced by a multitude of demons, which gave they said that we're legion. It says that we're legion, we are many. So they're telling you, like, we're legion, we are many. So imagine that there's tons of spiritual, invisible eyes looking at you. You know what I mean? Because obviously, in my humble opinion, we don't see them because, there's some things that are hidden from us for a reason. Because, for one, if you actually seen what these spirits look like, these malicious spirits, or even the real form of how angels look, because people who read scriptures, that it talks about where there was two men or two angels that came to bring a message to Lot, to those cities of Sodom and Gomorrah, that, hey, you gotta go, because the Most High's judgment's gonna come upon these cities. You gotta go. You know what I mean? They were bringing them, but they came in human form. So so that also be, like, okay, if they come down in human form, it says, you entertain angels unaware. So if angels can come in human form, that's why they say that you should always be kind and humble, and just be kind to others. Don't be mean, don't be ugly, because you don't know if you're talking with an angel. But yeah, like I was saying, was if you actually knew or seen the real form, I don't think that a lot of us could handle what they actually look like. That's why some things are hidden from us for a reason. So, but yeah, it talks about, we are legion, we are many. You have probably thousands, myriads of invisible eyes, watching, looking at everybody, not to scare nobody, you know what I mean? Don't be fearful. But that's why I think they're called monitoring spirits. They're monitoring you, and these spirits, they have, studied you. Like, they've been watching you for years. And I believe that's why they call familiar spirits as well, because they're familiar with you. They're familiar with your habits, whether they be good or bad. They're familiar with your family. These familiar spirits, they've been following you, your family, your people from the past, your ancestors, been following for years. And then they've studied you to see how that they can influence you early, to start, influencing you early, to throw you off your path, throw you off your life purpose, throw all these monkey wrenches in your life, you know what I mean? So, okay, back to what I was saying though. It says Yahushua or Christ was finna drive them out, you know what I mean? And send them into the abyss. But they begged him to send them into the herd of pigs, which the pigs then rushed into the sea and drowned, which brought me to another thought. If the demons wanted to go into the pigs, the swine, that makes you ponder on something. If demons are unclean spirits, they love unclean places, unclean vessels, you know what I mean? Because the Most High Source, the All, He's all about cleanliness. And, cleanliness, being, proactive in terms of keeping your area clean, keeping yourself clean. Hopefully people are keeping themselves clean, so that, and all this is for a reason, for a purpose, so that these unclean spirits don't have, a way to come in and to attack you, to, to hinder you. So all these things, it has a very deep meaning behind it, a spiritual meaning behind it, and it all has a greater purpose. So yeah, it's all about being clean and being organized, because unclean spirits, they like clutter too. They like clutter. And so, you gotta keep your spaces clean, organized, declutter. Keep up here decluttered as well. But the pigs, they rush into, they rushed all into the ocean or whatever. And it talks about in Leviticus chapter 11 on the dietary laws. And I know, me knowing that it talks about Leviticus 11, where it talks about the dietary laws of what you can eat and not eat. Swine is one of the things that it says that is unclean to eat. So, and I know that there's a lot of people out here that still eat pork. You know what I mean? I used to love pork, because, hey, we all grew up in households where you eat what is put in front of you. But as you get older and you become more mature and independent, now you can make your own decisions of what's good for you and what's not good for you. Because like I said, there are times I miss pepperoni. There's times I miss eating, well, no, really, the only thing I missed about pork was the pepperoni. Pepperoni, the bacon. But it's like, if it's unclean and the demons wanted to go into the pigs, that lets me know that, yeah, they are unclean vessel. Demons are unclean. They wanted to go into the pig. Oh, excuse me. That means, yeah. I ain't finna eat no more swine. I ain't finna eat no more oink oink. I don't understand how people can eat pig's feet. I never tried pig's feet, and never tried what's that mess called? Chitlins. There's another word for it though, but I'm not gonna say it on here. Chitlins. That's literally eating a pig's booty. Booty noodles. That's what we call it. Booty noodles. Eating booty. Nope, I can't do it. So, and I mean, you really look at people, who eat excessive amount of pork, they end up with high blood pressure and all these other health problems. And I know people say, well, all things, what all that God made is good. And which is, you're right. What all God made is good, but it was made good for its specific purpose. In my humble opinion, I don't think really anybody should be eating pork or or eating shrimp, lobster. These things, they're literally the bottom feeders of the ocean. They literally are like pretty much the garbage disposals of the ocean, and people are just consuming this like, they consuming these things like they ain't no tomorrow. But you are what you eat, and what you're putting in your body, that's defiling your temple. So if you're making your temple unclean, don't be surprised if you get a spiritual attack. You open yourself up for a spiritual attack, making yourself defiled, unclean. So but yeah, I know I done rambled on, but that's just my thought on pork, on these pigs. If Christ sent the legion of demons to the pigs and they ran off into the sea, that lets me know, like, okay, then the pork must be unclean to eat. It must be unclean. So, and then for them to go off into the ocean, that also opens up another discussion about the marine kingdom. Because if the pigs went in the ocean and died, then them demons went somewhere. So the marine kingdom, I'm not even finna get into that right now in this video. So there's plenty of videos that talks about the marine kingdom. Because if you think about it as well, the giants back in Genesis, where it talks about the Most High, he flooded the earth and the giants died, them spirits had to go somewhere as well, because everything died, but it didn't mention nothing about the fish. You know what I mean? That's my thoughts on that. Like, the fish, they can swim, so them spirits went somewhere. But anywho, so yeah, back to my story though. So I had that unclean dream, and I got up and prayed, rebuked it, and someone said in one of their videos that if you're an empath, which I know I am, the owl is most likely your animal totem. So, a little bit about the owl. The owl is about intuition, wisdom, observant listening, courage, protection, insight, transformation, intuitive development, knowledge. The owl has very pristine sight and hearing. So the owl was letting me know that, hey, you know, you're finna go through another event, or here's another change, and it's helping me to understand or develop my spiritual abilities. Because like I said, when I woke up, I heard that low humming tone in my ear again. So the owl, his or her eyes adjust from telescopic to microscopic. The owl has, if the owl has that energy, you know, around you, you know what I'm saying? You'll be able to, you know, it talks about you're able to see things or hear things that, you know, others can't, you know, looking into certain worlds, you know, that others can't see, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, some of this stuff is really cool. And something else about, I'm just looking at my notes here. So 2 of the abilities I think I have is clairvoyance and clairaudience. And clairvoyance is the special ability to gain information about an object, person, location, or physical event through extrasensory perception. Perceive events in the future or beyond normal sensory contact. And then clairaudience, the power ability to hear sounds or hearing something not present to the ear, but regarded as having objective reality. So all this ties in with the owl. And so seeing the bigger picture, it changes your perspective or view on things. So it's definitely giving me more insight and wisdom on my experiences with the low humming tone in my left ear, and also to be cautious and aware about my energy, because I'm an empath. Be cautious of your energy, because being around people as empaths, you have to watch your energy. Because if you don't, you know, before you know it, your energy has been literally sucked down like a battery. Like you see your battery drops real low, and that comes to that danger zone. In my humble opinion, that comes down to that danger zone. Your frequency has been brought low, and that can also set you up for a spiritual attack. Gotta be cautious of your energy. Be cautious of the people you're around. Be mindful of your thoughts as well. Listen to your affirmations. Always pray without ceasing. So this is a few pointers or things that I wanted to share today on this video. And I know it's been a long video, so I'm sorry about that. But if any of you have any experiences of your own you would like to share, please place it down in the comment section. And as well, if you have any advice or any type of, I would say I'm accepting of positive criticism, but as long as you keep it respectful. So so let me know in the comment section about your experience, and what other videos you would like me to dive into. And again, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video because it's already long and it's starting to get dark out here. So peace and blessings to you all, and I will see you soon.